Good morning and welcome to HAR's Member Focus Monday. I'm Claudia Hernandez, Director of Video Services, and I'm taking over hosting duties while Christina Schaefer is out on maternity leave. Today, I'd like to welcome someone who is no stranger to the show, HAR President and CEO, Bob Hale. Thanks for joining us, Bob.
Hey, Claudia, great to be here. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Well, we'll just go ahead and jump right in. I know you have a lot to cover.
Sure.
So we know that HAR is consistently recognized nationwide as a leader in the industry. What has HAR done to deserve that recognition?
Well, I'll start with when we go to a national conference, our leaders, when people find out they're from HAR, they're like, oh, wow, you're HAR. Tell us how you did this and how you did that and everything. But we need to bring the slide up. There we go. So if we look back, HAR was the first MLS to eliminate the MLS books and go to the computer. We created the first MLS public website in the country, har.com, and today there are only a handful of MLSs that have their own public website. And we created Platinum MLS with, it's no longer 18,000, it's almost 20,000 subscribers as of today.
Wow,
And then
okay.
we created IDX and VOW solutions for our members way before NAR even looked at that. And what that meant was eRealty was a real estate broker who was in Houston, and they showed all MLS listings on their website. No broker and no agent had the capability of doing that or the ability to do that back then. So as some MLSs sued them to stop it, Takey created IDX and VOW to where every broker and every agent could show all listings of the MLS at no cost on their websites. And then we did agent ratings, and we've got over 5,000 agents that are being rated. And they say that's how they get listings, is they show the agent ratings and how well they're doing. We developed an iPhone, iPad, and Android apps for the members and consumers. And again, we're the only MLS, I believe, in the country that has developed their own apps. And then HAR.com went statewide, and we power the Texas Association of Realtors website. So when you go to the Texas Realtor website, and you click on real estate and you search, you're on HAR.com.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's great. Those are obviously all great reasons to be recognized, right? So just remember, everybody, if you have questions for Bob or comments, leave them in the chat and we will get to them.
Let me say, what's interesting is our members, I'm not going to say take it for granted. That's not the right word, but we're used to all these cool things. Yeah. And the person that really is like, wow, is the member that leaves and goes to another association or MLS. They're like, where's everything? There's nothing here. So we're very fortunate to have a elected leadership and staff team that work together to create all these incredible tools at probably the lowest cost in the country.
Yes, I have a member who flew in from Florida because her MLS doesn't have any type of video services, and she's a broker here in Texas, and so
she didn't have video services back when we were doing this.
So I've definitely seen it firsthand. So very true. So when Showing Smart was launched, we weren't sure how it would be received by members and brokerages. So what has been the response from our members since then?
Well, it's interesting that when it launched, there was another showing service that pretty well dominated the market. They had probably 100% of the market, and we rolled this out. And there's one reason this is so successful, and that is it was created by the realtor. The technology advisory group, which is made up totally of members, created this. So Takey didn't say, here's the product, how do you like it? He said, here's a whiteboard, what do you want in this? Forget what you got, what do you want going forward, and we will build it. And they did. And almost every single day, a member will say, hey, if only it did this. And the team gets together and they change it to where it'll do that. And so it's become incredibly important. Nearly 45,000 agents use it. And we've had 3.7 million showings through the service. So it is successful beyond all expectations. Very proud of
That's
this.
great. That's so great. And we do constantly hear great things about showing smart. So
Yeah.
that's very true.
I can't
And
tell
so,
you how many large brokers call me and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have saved me so much money. I've been paying, quite a bit of money over a year's time for another product, and this has freed our members. And this
right,
is a huge savings to not only the large brokers, but the agents as well.
right. Just another way that HAR works for our members, right?
Yeah.
So, what are some major initiatives would you say that HAR is doing to benefit its members?
Well, we're doing a data share now with the San Antonio Association and the Austin Association. So right now we've got between those two and HAR, we have 60% of all the listings that our members can see all those and their members can see all those. And we're in the process of doing the same thing with Netris, which is the Dallas Fort Worth area up there. So we'll have probably by the end of the first quarter somewhere around 82 to 85% of all the listings will be in this data share, which will be fantastic. We've had nothing but positive comments about this. So it's been very, very popular. And we've also now entered into a deal with Omni MLS. So our members can search 61,000 properties across Mexico and 21 countries in Central and South America. Just one more thing that we're trying to do to benefit the realtor.
All right.
And then we introduced Forewarn, and we had a lot of comments about, Bob, you got to do Forewarn, you got to do Forewarn. And so now that's a member benefit, and the price if you buy it yourself is fairly expensive. And we've got 13,400 members that are now using it. Let me just say, if you're a manager or a broker and your agents aren't using it, get them to use it. This could literally save a member's life. It's something that's so valuable and it's free. And I cannot encourage you enough to everybody adopt that. Then we've got Inman News, and if you were to pay Inman on an annual basis for their news service, it'd be over $250. And we offer it at no cost to our members. 15,000 of our members have created an account with Inman News, and it is the source for real estate information.
Yeah, so lots of benefits to our
Yeah,
members.
go ahead, Chloe.
I was saying just lots of benefits to our members.
Yeah. Here's another one. Rent Spree. 15.7% of all rentals on HR.com include a rent spree link. So this has been very, very well received by the membership.
That's really great. Okay. So our platinum tools are a major benefit for our members. What are some of the most popular platinum tools?
I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that back a few years ago when this was created, you leave the slide up. Back when it was created, the staff was scared to death to do this because we were going to start charging members for services in addition to the MLS. And we were afraid of you. We were worried you were going to revolt and be mad and upset. We introduced Platinum. I didn't get one single call, one single email, one single text complaining about it. I got lots saying, this is fantastic. Because for $129, we're getting over $3,000 worth of value. And the good thing is, that was great for the members that use it. And like today, we're almost at 20, probably by the end of this production, we'll probably be at 20,000. But the good thing is the members that don't, or that really are not in the business, about half our members are really not very active. They don't really need this. So they're not having to pay for it. So it's worked out very, very well. The agent broker websites, 84% of our members use that. Virtual office website, 74%. And I would encourage every member has a virtual office website through HAR. And that is providing information to consumers that they want. Sold prices, history of the listing, all kinds of information they can't get on HR.com, but they can get from the broker or the agent through their virtual office website. And they sign up for you to provide it to them. And you can also see their activity. You can see what they're doing on HR.com. And then market insights, everybody raves about that. 62% use that. Agent branded app, 55%. So it's got very, very good adoption. And that's the good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Platinum. I'm sure everybody's aware that AI is now the big deal. The team has been working diligently on developing AI tools for the members, AI to write the property description, AI to write the photos. I mean, if you put 50 photos in, you got to describe all those. If AI can do it for you and then you just approve it or make slight changes, that will save you hours of time. AI to tag the photos so that in the future consumers can search for I only want kitchens with white tile, and the photos that have that tag on them that will show up that in that search results. A lead reply, so AI can respond to a lead if you're not able to do it yourself, and then on and on and on. There's so many ways that AI can save the agent and the broker so much time. That's the key. And then here's the big one, CRM. Uh, when Key said we're going to create a CRM, I said to Key, everybody's got a CRM. There's dozens and dozens of them out there. Do we really want to do a CRM? And I think 18,000 members who signed up for it, and 6,000 are using it on a daily basis. So I was really wrong there. The members are really happy about it, and we've had many in beta. Many members use it, get the feedback, and it just gets better, I think, every day.
Yeah, that's so great. I know our members just love all the tools that Taki puts out. Him and his team are just so amazing. But remember, everyone, if you have any comments or questions for Bob, please put them in the chat and we will get to them. And so, Bob, obviously there's a lot of usage of the tools, a lot of usage of the website, but do you have specific statistics on consumer usage of HAR.com?
You bet. Now I'll throw a shout out to Sally. Sally has been incredible with our statistics. One of her roles is to track every product in the website for usage. How well is it being done? So HR.com this year will reach over 500 million views of detailed listings. 500 million. Just imagine that. The
Wow.
power of the sucker. It's just unbelievable. And then here's something that we put out every month, and we compare ourselves to Zillow and Realtor.com. And Realtor.com actually prepares this report. We don't prepare it; they prepare it and provide it to us. And in November, 6.18 million visitor sessions. That means people came to HR.com and did a search over 6 million times. Your listings were looked at 41 million times by those consumers in November, resulting in 152,000 leads. But the really, to me, important part is at the bottom. And that is when you compare the eyeballs that went to HAR, Zillow, and Realtor, 52% of consumers went to HAR, 39% to Zillow, and 9% to Realtor. So we're just a little local MLS website that's beating these multi-billion dollar companies. And I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of our team for getting us to that point. And for Matt and his communications department that markets it, I mean, it's a team effort.
Right.
And then again, I believe we're the only MLS in the country with their own app. And it's been downloaded 3.3 million times. And if you took all of our members that have downloaded it, that still leaves 3 million almost. So it is you cannot talk to a consumer in Houston, Texas that is not aware of HR.com.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to leave the house with our HR.com polo on without someone asking us, oh, you work in real estate? Oh, I love your app, or I love what you guys are doing. So definitely well known all over the city and state, of course. So
I'll tell you, I'll share, a couple of months ago, we got a new puppy that's now 6 months old.
Yes.
And I had never been to a veterinarian. I didn't know what we found a really good veterinarian and
Hmm.
went in. And the first visit, somehow I'd written down, you have to put, what is your job and who do you work
Right.
for? And he said, you work for HR.com? And I said, yeah, I'm the CEO. And he went, oh my God, that's the greatest thing ever invented in the history of the world. I mean, he did. So we now get special treatment for the puppy
Oh,
because of
yeah.
HR.com.
The puppy is VIP because of
Yeah, exactly.
HR.com. Okay, so because of that, all the things you listed, all the things you named, all the tools, one of the reasons HAR is the leading MLS website in the country is because we listen to what the consumers want along with what the realtors want. But what has been recently implemented on the HR.com website to benefit our consumers? I know it's a lot.
Yeah. So property searches in Spanish. 40% of Houstonians are Hispanic, and so it made sense to if they can't read English, it doesn't do them any good. So we put it in Spanish. 560,000 searches in Spanish. 972,000 times listings in Spanish reviewed. So it's been very, very, very popular. And then this is something new. So beginning on Thursday through Sunday, on the search page of HR.com, consumers can search for upcoming open houses in their area. So they'll put their zip code or their city or their neighborhood or whatever the search results possibilities are, and then they can find out all the open houses. That will be a really great thing for consumers and realtors. And we're updating our neighborhood profile. So Claudia is very involved in this, and he's using AI, and Matt's involved, and it's a team effort. But we're trying to now have information or profiles, videos and statistics and pictures for every neighborhood in the Houston area. Why are we doing that? Homes.com has got 1,000 people working on this. 1,000 people. We've got what, 3, 4, and they're trying to do every neighborhood in the country for Homes.com. And if we don't compete, if we don't keep up, we'll fall behind. And so this is one more place where we look at the competition. We try to figure out how do we be as good or better. And I just want to say thank you, Claudia, for all the work that you've done on this. It's been amazing. I love the drone shots; they're fantastic.
Well, thank you.
And then down payment resource, that was one of the ads before this started. 40,000 listings on HR.com, and that's 91% of all listings, are eligible for some type of down payment resource. So if you represent a buyer and you're looking at one of those 91% listings, check out the down payment resource, because that might mean the difference in them getting the house and not getting the house if they can come up with that down payment through this program. It is an incredible program, and we're leaving money on the table if we don't use it. Audio narrative. This interesting story here. A vendor called me and said, Bob, I've got a deal for you. I want to share it with you. I said, great. And he said, for only $300,000 a year, we have a product that all of your agents can record. They can individually record the description of their photos, and then consumers can listen to it. And I said, it's hard enough to get the agent to write the narrative. I don't think they're going to record it. Number one, that's a lot of work for them. And number two, we're not going to pay you $300,000, but thank you very much. And just kind of as a fluke, I told Takia about it, just in passing. He said, Bob, we already have that built, not for this purpose, but we have that product built. Within 2 days, he had it up and live, and every listing now on HR.com, the consumer can listen to the description of the listing. And I thought, well, is anybody going to use it? 6.8 million times consumers have clicked on the audio narrative of a listing. 6.8
Wow.
million. 181,000 in Spanish. It's in 11 different languages.
Right.
And so that product, instead of 300,000, is zero. And it took
Mm-hmm.
him 2 days to build it. And it's all computerized where, the human doesn't do much of anything, but
Right.
it's incredible. Now, I don't know how many realtors use it, but consumers love it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one more example of how, sometimes we're lucky. And this is one time we were lucky that that vendor called me. Now, we do a lot of consumer research. We did a consumer panel. We did, I think, 8 of them. And we had hundreds of consumers that we physically sat down with and asked them questions about HR.com and Zillow. And we said, one of the things, what do you want on a consumer website? These are the top 3. Floor plans and room dimensions was like, we must have it. That's not something we like. This is something we must have. Floor plans. So remember that. Flood information, very, very important in Houston. And then we like it in Spanish because 40% of Houstonians are Hispanic. They also want, guess what? The sales price. They want to know what people have paid for the property. And we told them HR.com is not a broker and we cannot provide that information to you, but our members can through their virtual office website and agent
Mm-hmm.
rate app. And every member can do that. And if you know the consumer wants that information and you've got it, if you don't give it to them, the person across the street, your competitor, will. So just make sure you use that. It is so important. It's like if you own a pizza shop and you offer cheese, and I'm next to offer pepperoni and cheese and olives, and I'm going to win. And
Right.
this is a competitive advantage that you will have. And okay, go ahead to the next. Now, floor plans. This is sort of depressing to me. Only 2,383 of our listings have a floor plan out of like 50,000. That's semi pathetic when showing time and Kubicasa are all free. These are all free to the agent. And if you know that consumer wants this just about more than anything, and you're not providing it, again, your competitor will. It's just a matter of time before this thing explodes. So if you don't get anything else out of this program today, think about making sure that all of your listings have a floor plan. And again, it can be showing time or Kubicasa, it doesn't matter. They're very different, but just compare the two and see what you think is best for you. And then flood information. So we have a page now on HR.com that's a portal to lots of information about floods. And next slide is this is something new that will come. Yeah, that'll come probably after the first of the year. We're going to add climate risk data on HR.com for floods and wildfire. And we're working with Texas A&M University and the state of Texas. This is a state-funded university project that is probably the best data that's out there. And you ask, well, why would we do that? Number one, that's the thing consumers want. They made that real clear. We want that data. So if we don't offer it, guess who does offer it? Homes.com, Realtor.com, Zillow all offer it on every listing all across the country. And so if we don't, it isn't like they're just not going to get it. They're just not going to get it from us. They're going to leave us and go to those websites and get it. So this is a kind of a must-do thing, especially in light of the demand by the consumer.
Right, right. Yeah, just so many things and a lot of comments in the chat letting us know. Tracy Ethington said, I love floor plans, and so do consumers. So that's why
Yeah,
we need to have them.
yeah.
Tracy Henderson said, I love Kubicasa. Monique Jackson said, that's awesome. And we had a couple questions about where can I find the updated neighborhood profiles and matrix, and we had somebody share that link in the chat. So go ahead and check out that link so you can see these videos that we've been working very hard on. We did a lot of research and a lot of prep time to get these to really look like the neighborhood that we're trying to feature. So,
Claudia, are those in Matrix as well as HR.com?
I don't believe they're in Matrix just yet, but I think we're
Right.
working on that.
Yeah, but
Yes.
they are on
But
HR.com. Yeah.
yes, and then if you go into the listing, you see which neighborhood geo-market area you're in. It's highlighted. You click on that, and it takes you to that page where the video is. So, and those are shareable. So if you want to use them and share them with your consumers, your clients, go ahead and do that. So,
Yeah.
all right. So as we look to 2024, what do you believe our members should be paying attention to regarding key issues impacting the real estate industry?
All right, I boiled it. You said keep it at three. So I came up with climate change, litigation, and NAR.
Mm-hmm.
And those are three of the, I've been saying for the last 5 years, probably climate change is in the top
Yeah.
three. Now I
Right.
think it's closer to the top one.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to impact this industry probably more than anything. I mean, we talk about interest rates and supply, and those come and go, those ebb and flow. Rates could be 2%, they could be 7%. I bought a home when it was 18%. So, they're all over the place. And the same thing with supply. Climate change, though it doesn't ebb and flow, it just gets worse. And so we're starting now where we're going to see the results and where people are going to realize, I don't know if it's climate change. All I know is something's going on and it's not good. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the cost of insurance.
Right.
And can you even get insurance? Because
Mm-hmm.
insurance companies are dropping, uh, they're dropping their customers left and right, especially in California and Florida. I mean, wholesale withdrawals from the entire state.
Right.
So let me just give you some stats. Texas is the third most expensive state for home insurance.
Wow.
I didn't know that. Third most expensive.
Wow.
On average, our premiums on the average home were $2,300. So I was like, I wonder what mine are. I don't have any idea. I mean, I write a
Right.
check and never look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Homeowners insurance for this year was $8,500.
Oh, wow.
Well, 1,400. Used to be five, and then it was seven, and now it's
Mm-hmm.
14. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
paying $10,000 to
Right.
insure my house a year. I had
Yeah.
no idea. I'm kind of in shock.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why we're the third most expensive state.
Yeah.
And then low risk homes across all three climate risk categories, the three are heat, flood, and fire, have
Mm-hmm.
started value faster than high risk. So the lower the risk a home is, the more valuable it will become in comparison to the high risk homes, which makes sense.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you're a high risk home, you don't want to particularly hear that.
Yeah.
Currently, 58 million US homes are at high risk for extreme heat, 15 million for high flood risk. I mean fire risk. If you're in California,
Right.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's like our hurricanes, their fires.
Mm-hmm.
And 13 million face high risk for flood. Florida and Texas have seen the slowest home value growth in the U.S. during the past year. Let me say that again. Florida and Texas have seen the slowest home value growth in the past year due to climate risk,
Right.
rising insurance costs, and high
Mm-hmm.
property taxes.
Right.
These are things that our members need to be aware of when consumers ask about this.
Mm-hmm.
At $22 trillion worth of homes, which is 44% of all the homes in the U.S., are at a risk of severe or extreme damage from environmental threats. So the
Yeah.
point is, this is only going to get worse. There's no way to fix it. And so we just need to be aware of that. Litigation. The DOJ opposes the clear cooperation rule, which
Mm-hmm.
surprises me. I thought they would like that because it conceivably benefits the consumer. But
Mm-hmm.
they have said their role is not to protect the consumer. Their role is to protect the competitor. And because you've got these private MLS or off-market uh, entities out there, they're saying that this rule in the MLS hurts that competitor, and that it probably does. And they also oppose the requirement for buyer broker agency agreements contained in the NAR settlement. Now, they don't oppose the agreements, they oppose them because NAR is requiring them through the settlement. Again, they don't want NAR to have any rules that
Right.
require everybody in the country to do a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think we all know that NAR and and brokers and MLSs and associations were sued and by sellers who said, we didn't realize we were paying the buyer agent commission. That's the competitor. Why am I paying their fee? I want my money back. And we thought that's going to go nowhere. That's a non-starter. And the jury in Missouri found us liable for $5.4 billion. So to them, it did make a lot of sense.
Right.
Now that's been settled, and the settlement is now on appeal, but it's been settled $1 billion by NAR and large brokers. Now, under that settlement, HAR and our MLS are taken out. We're covered under the NAR settlement, so we hope that settlement's approved. Now, there's a similar buyer lawsuit against NAR and brokers, saying if I had been able to pay my agent instead of the seller paying it, I could have negotiated a better price with that agent and would have saved money because I'm paying the money at closing that's paying the commission. So it just, we're right back in this thing again.
Right.
And
Right.
then you go into NAR, and what can I say? Let's see. Two presidents have resigned. This is all last year. The CEO resigned. The general legal counsel resigned. And, we've talked about how NAR's had issues with plaintiffs' attorneys suing on behalf of buyers and sellers. And they've had trouble with the DOJ saying a lot of their rules are antitrust violations and anti-competitive. But now they've got a new player involved, the member, the agent, the broker, the association. They're all members of NAR. And in that $1 billion settlement, it covered NAR and our MLS, as I said, but it excluded any broker that did over $2 billion in transactions in a year. And that was a lot of large brokers that fit that. So they all had to settle individually, some at the multi millions of dollars, and they're very unhappy. So now you've got many of the large brokers across the country are very unhappy with NAR. And now we have members suing NAR saying, I shouldn't have to join HAR, TAR, and NAR to get MLS. I just want MLS. I don't want all that other stuff. So there's lawsuits in Michigan and in Illinois, Pennsylvania, and one has just been filed in Texas, all by members that want to break up the three-way agreement. And then others are saying, I do want to join HAR, I just don't want TR and NAR, or I do want NAR, but I don't want HR and TR. We should be able to pick and choose and not be required to join all three. So that is really gaining steam all across the country. And then the Alabama Association of Realtors, which is a statewide realtor organization, is urging NAR to make membership optional, which is what the lawsuits are requesting. And then the Phoenix Association just came out with a notice that you can get access to the Phoenix MLS without realtor membership. Now, I'll tell you, that's the same policy HAR's had for probably 10 years. You do not have to be a realtor to join the HAR MLS. And you can count those members probably on two hands. There's very, very few of them. The agent can receive MLS services and lock boxes, but they can't get access to the TAR forms, which they need to do business. So you're like 2/3 of the way there, but the last third, you need those forms to do business. So that's why very few have joined as non-realtors. Right. And then you saw the New York Times article about the lavish spending by NAR over the past few years that was just a bombshell. And then the New York Times, I think last week, wrote about the American Property Owners Alliance, funded by NAR with millions of dollars of dues money that goes to PACs that support candidates. So NAR is sort of being attacked from every possible, the news media, the member, the DOJ, sellers and buyers. And so we just have to watch that play out. They have a new CEO, they have a new president, and it's going to be a tough road, I think. So anyway,
Right.
that's the three I would say are probably the most.
Yeah, no, those are all great and all things that our members need to be paying attention to, right? They're always wondering what's important right now, what should I be listening to? And
Right.
that's it. We had one comment. Margot said, have you seen an increase in agents leaving the business as was predicted due to the effects of the NAR settlement?
No.
No.
Every year there's prediction that every year for the last 50 years, prediction is a member's going to drop, it's going to go down, and it always goes up.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's amazing.
That's why they're predictions, right?
Yeah.
All right. So along with all these updates that we love getting from you on an annual basis on our show, how can our members stay updated with the most relevant topics impacting the real estate industry? You just gave us so much information. How can they get ahead and get these stories in their mailboxes?
All right. I start the day by reading Inman News and the Wall Street Journal, and I would suggest to everybody, Inman News is free to you, so definitely read it. And really, there's probably going to be 8 articles or 6 articles, and one of them will probably be of interest to you. The others won't, so it's not like you got to read everything. And just scan the Wall Street Journal they're really a great source of information. And then I got to promote the Insights newsletter that I do once a week. Matt told me.
Okay, we're having a few tech issues with the internet. So hopefully we'll see that Bob can get back on here. As he mentioned, there's a lot of different news outlets that you could read every morning, like the Wall Street Journal, Inman News, his Insights newsletter, that goes out every Friday. All right. So go ahead and check that out. You should be getting it in your inbox and open it up. So I think we might have lost him, but that was at the end of our program. So a couple other things he was going to mention was the 5-Minute Realtor, the Edge, Matrix alerts and pop-ups, social media platforms, and our HR online newsroom. So I think we're going to see if he can pop back in, and hopefully we can get him to close out the show. All right, Bob, can you see us and hear us?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, the computer died.
Oh no.
Anyway,
All right,
I
well,
was just promoting the Insights newsletter.
yes.
I was going to say, Matt told me that 30,000 members open that every Friday. I was like, I don't believe it. It's not possible. He showed me the numbers. And
Yes.
then the Edge is great on Tuesdays. The 5-Minute Realtor, of
Mm-hmm.
course, Member Focus Monday that we're on today. The
Mm-hmm.
Matrix alerts, HR social media, and the HR newsroom. So there's plenty of ways to, you don't need to do all those, but pick one or two you like and stick with it.
Right. Yeah, and of course, people want to read from you. They want to hear from you. That's why they open the Insights every Friday. So it's the most popular one. But thank you again, Bob, for joining us today. That's it for today's Member Focus Monday. Do you have any further comments you want for our members?
No, I appreciate it, Claudia. This is fantastic.
Thank you so much. So this is our last episode of 2024, and we will be taking a little break for the holidays, but we will be back on January 6th with 2025 HAR Chair Shay Cotter. Have a happy and safe holidays, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.